How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge. I am Nick, and in this character spotlight, we are looking at Clear Fallen Edition, and you have to be some horrible parents to name your kid Clear, because apparently they just didn't want to see her. Don't name your kid colors or lack of that. You know, imagine if you named your kid just like Purple. Come here, Purple. Here, no, don't do it. Even Clear. I mean, come on. Naming structure in this game, I'm telling you, they must be some bad parents over at Side Games or something or whatever. It's like, well, what would we name our child? Clear. I don't want to see it. Transparent is going to be the next fallen character, probably. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the skills. So there is a special skill with this character. The skill is, where did I write it? Fallen Feather. Makes her fly. Very first skill to activate. Basically, flight, if it's similar to the other character, makes it so that she cannot be the primary attack target. Unless, of course, she's the only character on the field. She's the only character on the field, she's going to get hit. If not, then it's going, you know, the people on the ground, they're going to look for somebody who's like, you know, on solid ground. They're not going to be looking up to the sky. It's like, oh, I can't reach that. Okay, I'm going to attack Nyne. Always happens. I don't know why. All right, let's go ahead and get into the regular skills. She flies. That's her special skill. Whoop-a-doo. Skill number 1. Thorn Maiden. It is a single target physical damage, attack, and physical defense debuff. Damage will increase according to the total amount of all other allies' hit points. Never like mechanics like that or whatever. I mean, at least it's not Sarin where like the lower her hit points is the more damage she does, because then at some point when those hit points get so low, she dies and she ain't doing no damage at all. So I hate that mechanic. This one, not so much, because it's always the goal to keep people full of health. So if everyone is all nice and healthy and stuff, then I guess this works. What am I complaining about it for? I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Skill number 2, Ambivalent Guard. I actually translated this one on my own. I didn't need help. I didn't need to do the Google Translates. I saw it and I was like, ambivalent. And it was that. I did something right for a change. Take my word for it. Places a heal over time on the character with the lowest hit points, not including herself. She will then absorb all attacks and status effects that would normally hit that character, transfer it to her, and all damage is cut by 30%. Unfortunately, it does not work on area of effect attacks, and it lasts for about 8 seconds, which is also the duration of the heal. So there you go. She's kind of like a tank, but she's Midgard, right? She's a really, really good helper in terms of tanking or something. Or if you're like me and everybody else who likes to put Nyne dead out front, well, that damage will then get transferred back. But my question with that would be, is the technique point gauge. You know, Nyne is the one getting hit, but the damage is getting transferred. So since Nyne is not taking the damage, does it charge your gauge or does it charge Clear's gauge? Not very clear. I just don't even want to do a pun with that or whatever. EX skill increases physical attack power, blah, blah, blah. Increases it if you got her at 5 stars a little bit more. Typical EX skill, mundane stuff. But you got her Union Burst, which is also a little mundane, but you know, it's also got a stupid name. Shadow Split Hidden Thorn. Anna would be proud. It is a single target physical damage attack and a self-heal. Damage is also increased based on the amount of hit points all other allies have. That mechanic again. Well, you kind of figure if she's throwing out a little barrier or a taunt or whatever you want to call it, and absorbing all this damage, she has to find some way to kind of heal herself, right? Kind of makes sense. It's in the Union Burst. Hooray. Damage is kind of meh from what I'm hearing, but it is what it is. Not that horrible of a character, but also it's going to be real specific where you put her. Let's go ahead and throw her into combat. Let's see. She's got her own event. So that's where we're going with it. Let's see. Right here. Got it all set up already. We are good to go. The very first skill she'll do is make her fly. There we go. And it is the very first thing that she does. It's the only thing that she does, and she only does it once in the very beginning. I don't think it can be canceled or cleared or whatever, but cleared. Oh, God. I have to say the Union Burst is kind of lame compared to a lot of the 6 stars that have come out, and you know, some other characters. This is really, really tame. Whatever. I'm not terribly impressed by it. Okay. So what's this character good for? Absolutely nothing. That's a song, ain't it? I just kind of put that together myself. I'm taking credit. Oh, crap. Okay, so essentially what this character is going to end up being used for is if you want to put someone out front to take some damage, like Muimi, but maybe the damage is a bit much. Maybe she needs some extra protection, a little bit of a boost, something like that, or you just need to reduce that damage. Maybe it's a regular tank character, but the boss you're fighting is so ridiculously powerful and hits so ridiculously hard, you need that 30% cut and that little extra there. So that's where she comes in. She's kind of considered SS tier for single target boss fights, maybe even multi-target. I'm not too sure about that. She doesn't really work really good with AoE, but the single target stuff she still does, so maybe there's some damage reduction or something weird going on. I don't know. This is one of those weird characters where, you know, it's just not clear what her use. Geez, I just did it again. It's not clear what her use is, and it's her name. Every time I say her name, it feels like a pun. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it intentionally. Let's throw her in again. So what the heck do we do with this character? Okay, so I'm thinking it's basically the Muimi scenario, or whoever else is up front attacking. You know, there's a lot of clan battles and everything we've done where was it New Year's Nyne? We're throwing her up front or whatever, but she's got a little bit of a heal. She's New Year's Nyne is slightly stout, but this could provide that little bit of extra to keep her up front without dying against bosses that hit really freaking hard. That could just be it. You know, throw Muimi up front, needs that extra protection. You know, last clan battle, there was a couple of times where it's like, okay, the best group to use has Muimi up front, but there's a few times where she got gibbed. Well, if she was there, Muimi probably would have survived it. But how much damage and everything do you kind of sacrifice in order to get this nice little safety net of her? She's clearly a safety net. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, I did that one on purpose. I was trying to think off the cuff. But that's a really good analysis of her. She's a safety net character. That's it. She's not, I don't think she's debuffing defense all that much. Her damage isn't spectacular or anything. She has that flight and very unique, I think it's the only one like that redirects damage and also status effects. It redirects status effects. So that's really good, especially if, like, let's say there's some boss battle where the front character constantly gets stunned all the frickin' time. Well, if Muimi is getting stunned all the time, that's a huge damage loss, right? Well, if at least for that 8 seconds every time she casts a thing, there you go. No more stuns for you. So that's going to be the use case scenario. Bosses where the front character really needs some extra oomph, and or there's some stupid status effects affecting the frontline member, and you need to remove it. Now, here's the little caveat to it, though. This character will put that barrier, damage absorb, status effect absorb on whatever character happens to be the lowest, right? If at the time the tank is not the lowest, then that status effect goes someplace else, and is it worth it? Did it just mess up the whole rotation? What'd it do? I don't know. This character is far too unique and niche for what groups you're going to use her in, that I guess I'll just segue into, do you pull her or not? Well, the first thing you should do is like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Haha. Yeah, I almost forgot to do that. I'm a little late. Sorry. But should you pull her? I'm going to have to say, even though she's rank SS tier on one of the websites I go to, I don't think she's going to be worth it. My opinion is, it's going to be, okay, I want to create this group to fight the boss. This is the most optimal, right? And you just kind of have to ask yourself, well, does this character take too much damage and I have to sacrifice and put clear in? Or can I leave clear out and put Princess Kokoro or somebody else that has a little bit of a heal or defense or something mechanic in it to make up for it, instead of sacrificing a whole character? And, you're sacrificing damage, you're sacrificing debuffs. I mean, she does have the physical defense down, but it's not like the super best one in the world. Where do you go? I am going to have to say that this character is a pass. If I had to choose, It would be a pass. I'm not seeing her being used terribly often, if ever, in a lot of these fights. It's going to have to be a really unique case where she has to be used. Of course, side games will probably put a boss in somewhere that's like, hey, this is a really good idea to use her, right? Right? That always happens, but clearly, y'all need to get to that like, sharing, and subscribing and everything. And for any of you who happen to stay towards the very end of the video, I am currently on a rather short vacation. Hooray! And tomorrow, at some point, Modern Warfare 3 comes out. I am not anticipating that to be a good game. The campaign supposedly sucks. It's horrible. I wasn't going to pre-order it, but because I'm a complete and utter dumbass, thank you very much, dumbass, I did pre-order the stupid thing. I got it preloaded and I'm ready to go. So let's see, vacation, you got a new Modern Warfare coming out, there's Princess Connect and Stellar Fantasy that I want to do a little bit of streaming. So tomorrow, Saturday, maybe during the weekend, we shall see. There's a stream coming. It's going to be a one-off. Don't know how long it's going to be. Just going to load up, do my regular stuff or whatever, but there's a stream coming in the next, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. We'll see. Keep an eye out for it. See you then.